I'm going to tell you briefly about the overall subject of this presentation. So, naturally, we have evolved as a systems integrator, as a large player in this market, somebody who has been in this market for a long time, focusing primarily on information security solutions. We have been developing our own, suite of diverse tools. We started out with some integration utilities, but eventually we developed our own set of products. So, eventually, our product division started wondering how we could turn it all into a portfolio. Oh, good. Now it is working indeed. Obviously, we wanted to have a proper portfolio. Well, because we wanted to better serve our clients while also improve our revenues. And we have been arguing for a long time about how to best build such a portfolio. Because certainly what we had previously felt like a set of incomplete solutions that were requiring some funding on their own and were not really serving all the needs of our clients. So here I'd like to briefly tell you what we did about it and where it all brought us. So the discussions that we were having back then led us to the following ideas. So I'm just giving you the set of arguments or the set of ideas that we had at the very beginning, that, is the strongest that survive, the winner gets it all. And, with the economies of scale, we should be able to provide something that will be used by many more people. So as we went through a discussion, we realized that all these positions were not really strong on their own. So take, for example, the survival of the strongest. Then what is really the strongest? So much really depends on the context. If you take a look at the history of this planet and the evolution of life here, which took millions and millions of years, you'll certainly see that there was a succession of the strongest species as the outer context kept changing. And our environment is also heterogeneous and it's also quite dynamic. So things can easily change over time.
So the event which are going to take place, but nobody believes in them. And it's a bottleneck in case of evolution. 99% of population dies. In our case, what could be, for example, you have a different problem or profile, a leading but a bulky product was not be able to be modified, and our customers, had a problem. There was some, and they began to look for different options on the market. And if the product is popular and widespread, everybody's using this product. For example, you found some 0-day, you've exploited it, and all the customers who've used it, they had this problem, so this product is not going to be used anymore. And this is why you always have to, whenever we are thinking from the, like in the shoes of our customers, you have to have some excess. It's a payment for being better prepared for the risks, which only appear to be unreal. Basically, they are real. Even the weak products, we think that, hey, it's a too weak a product because it's not bringing us any money right here and right now. It is not like your product is got to be like bring back millions or else we're going to throw it away. No, you have to look into the future. And for these kind of products, which are not sold here and now, the market is not ripe, you got to educate, you got to train your customers, and while you're doing this, your product also has to exist, like even on a minimal level, on a minimal financial flow, to be able to check your assumptions and so that this product would show its best opportunity, and then you can give the market like a future winner. You always have to have like a backbench or pool of candidates. Winner gets all. winner gets all or nothing. What is important? It's important to understand not the tones of the winners, but like how many losers we have. If the winner has won by any cost, but at the same time destroying the system of this like a championship or whatever it may be, they get a very weak system eventually, and they have less resources for their own development. If there are like a breaking things, breaking backs of the people in the companies, they end up like a champion without a championship, a king without a kingdom. So any leader has to be interested in the system not degrading but evolving. In the West, there's a fashionable ESG trend, ESG, like sustainability. What I'm trying to say is that a leader has to be sustainable themselves. That is that they have, in addition to their own, life, and they also have to make sure that there'll be healthy competition on the market. Why? Because they can be looking, kind of snatching good solutions from new companies. And of course, companies are buying startups and stuff. But anyway, another aspect of this, like here in our lineup, we have some products which are to become leaders, and other products that are not about leadership. And these kind of products, they have to offer leaders some interesting capabilities for them to be able to build themselves in and coexist in the same niche. But products which we want to see drivers of our growth and to be among the leaders, we have to remember that things can change, tables can turn. It is not like you're saying, oh, it's too bad, we're not going to develop this product. But simply, you have to push to a new iteration. It is not about like you've lost leadership, we're not going to invest it. Pay attention to your competition. What made them such successful? Specialization of the participants is good on one hand, but there's a paradox. Sometimes it leads to inefficiency, inefficient use of the user's resources. There are some cases, and those cases may happen when specialization leads to a monopoly. Here in IT, in our country, we do have a problem of building our own chips in Russia, and we know that in chip making in the world there are only a few companies who can make like lithography machines. The main of them is physically located in Netherlands, servicing all the world. It's part of the sanction pressure, and the first problem is that not everyone can have access to a technology. If there is like excessive specialization, because monopoly can choose who to serve and who not to serve, which is bad for development. And even if we are not looking into specialization, a monopolist can have like basically two ways, and there is a temptation. Number one is you minimize your own costs. You're making the product more narrow, more niche, and specialized for a particular task. And you can see here that other kind of conjoined tasks will not be resolved with the users, and at the same time, the time of reacting to this kind of like goals will affect your overall performance. You're losing your tempo. You're beginning to use some kind of other products. You're trying to cut costs, and we may lose it. The second ditch is trying to please your customers, put all the features in a backlog. It will be too expensive. It will be too expensive for their market. So it is good when you have products like they're competitive, but at the same time, you can assemble out of them a certain symbiosis. They have a cross-section of potential, but not the full one. Everybody's bringing something new into this system, and in this case, we may use in the system like may 100 flowers blossom or bloom, and we get an opportunity to collect technologically compatible ecosystems from different technical components. And instead of, be friends with different products, which may be costly, you can build your platform and build interface connectors between different platforms from different vendors. This is great. We're going to see why. And to be able to assemble, like an assembly tool, a tech platforms, we're building this like a structure, and we're thinking like how you can do this kind of Lego and make this Lego a compatible. So it's about the compatibility between the different tech platforms. And the product we want to get, and why do we need details from the different Lego parts? It's about methodology. And methodology is an important part to getting your product built. As a major integrator, our company, we have seen this, case and situation, some hyper difficult projects. And of course, you may be well aware that when you have like increase in complexity of the project, the costs sometimes are growing not linear. And that's why you want to productivize your experience, not to do 100 times the same thing over and over, to have like a set, to have like a Lego set, like do it yourself kind of thing, which will be scalable. And instead of building 100 complex projects, it would be a nightmare to try to scale them up. That's why, beginning with a certain level of complexity, it's impossible to do it in-house, and it is impossible to build like a mono-vendor system. Looking at the market right now, and we are planning like a integrated, comprehensive platforms, and our competition have these kind of platforms. But if you try to have like from A to Z everything in your platform, you may lose focus. You can overstretch yourself, and you can basically lose everything. And also there is a problem. Like, can you befriend these two products from two different companies? Vendors do not want to marry them. Why? You don't want to spend your money. But not if like, hey, I don't do this, but I have a similar product. What if they will, it's like a cannibalism, right? They will not be using this product, but this one, buying this one. Probably none of this will be bought, but the client will look at something else on the market. So it's important to be able to meet this kind of demands. As an integrator, this is what we do, but it also would be great to think about this in your product line. I mean, the integration between different vendors. And my final point here is that user is always right, but there is a problem that sometimes the main user is yourself. What do I mean by that? If we come to our users and our customers, oftentimes, they invite us because they do not know how to solve their problem. And sometimes they do not even understand that the problem exists. So we have to explain a problem to them. And this is why manufacturing, it's a source of a lot of knowledge. You have to use it whenever you assemble your product portfolio. And now we can classify what information you have to pull out of your manufacturing. Manufacturing is working with the front-end users, so you got to get negative information, what irritates them, what irritates different products, like a classic story. But most importantly, to try to do your intel, like what clients are telling to others about our products. How do they criticize our products? And production. Sometimes in a smoking room, people can say some bad things about the products. It's also a very valuable source of information. One example of that could be those, products have one vision of how to do it, but the way it is done, usually the production knows it. And you gotta come to them and see, like, do they use the pain of the customers? Do they use our product, or they maybe ignore our product and using it on the open source? And what they had to go through. These are important cases to be able to engage your development map and to use it, and to use those features as a part of your future product. And also, those gaps which our customers may have, which cannot be solved by any products in our toolbox as an integrator. It's also a good thing to think about that, and also to see if we have enough resources and expertise to build this kind of new, missing product. And based on this discussion, we have developed a methodology, and we look back at our experience of how we usually do, and like with this methodology and then cyber sustainability. We do the inventory check and we see what our customers have. We identify the most dangerous places and vulnerabilities, what may not be fine-tuned. And our goal is not to sell them a lot of stuff, but to see their situation and then to make a decision, like what is fast wins, kind of do the fast wins, to have immediate result. Why? Because they have many departments, and the management wants money to be spent effectively or efficiently. They are defending their budget, and we can see, like, do you guys have to spend more, have to spend less, and to get immediate effect. And they have to see that we're serious guys, that maybe in some cases we came out of nowhere, and we have to show ourselves. So we are implementing these kind of cases related to taking away the main pain and thinking into the future, trying to look and to see and kind of deploy this kind of like a parchment or map of our movement, and see where and at what horizon we would like to arrive. Because if it's a big company, it is usually this company usually they want to be like fully cyber sustainable. We've done this exercise for quite many times with our clients. So we got a methodology. Our clients are going to share this methodology in different tracks at the conference, and this methodology has like a dozen, maybe a couple of dozen steps. And it's the third stage of this methodology about implementing, your protection means. And also, we've done the following exercise. We've taken the products of our beloved, favorite partner, we put it against our methodology and what kind of tools we can use to close what kind of situations. We know out of production what products are good and we would gladly use this, what kind of gaps they may have and problems. So we take our own product assumptions, we put it against this kind of map, and then we juxtapose the maps together. So it looks like you have this kind of integrated ecosystem, like a multi-vendor ecosystem. And we can invite any partner for cooperation. And so we have like highlighted integration points when the products have to marry. Some other points we better not go into with our products because they're being closed by the great competition, competitive tools. And also some other points where there are no solutions available. And this could be a priority to invest our efforts into and to see how the products will be developed in this line. And also, I want to reiterate some conclusions that we've made when discussing these maxims. Live and let live, as they say. You have to identify the resources even for developing like eccentric hypotheses, because any such hypothesis can actually win. And also, specialization is not enough. You got to be in touch with the market and also in touch with your partners and competitors. And oftentimes, we compete not with other vendors, but with situations and circumstances in the country, in the world, geopolitical stuff, and stuff. More and more reasons to combine, join our forces, import substitution, stuff like that. So integration of platforms is important because you can save resources, not only to integrate like one-off products, but also to integrate by platforms. We all decide within the vendor decides like how you can integrate the products within, and then you can use like external interfaces, hook up, and then like the whole family of products connect to this ecosystem, and then out of this Lego to be able to assemble this. And also, the best user is yourself. And any lineup of products, they have to be double-checked in-house, especially if you're a big organization or a big vendor. The average maybe. So you have to try them like a dog fooding. You're sort of like eating your own brew, you're eating your own line of products. So eventually we got this kind of product lineup. I'm not going to push it, advertise it. A couple of domains. These products are about ensuring the cyber sustainability, InfoSec. There is some training, education in here, of course, and cybersecurity. Like already IT solutions for big clients, like for the public clients, working with big data, of course, and compliance-related work. Also, important component is like a digital headquarters. This is the bridge between the physical security and information security. And this is great. It enables you to enrich InfoSec industry, where we have a lot of ICS devices and even scoots at different facilities.